What's up, Facebook? Ty Crandall here with Credit Suite, and today we are diving into funding for trucking. We're going to talk about a bunch of different ways that you can get money if you are funding a trucking business. Now, look, here's the reality. You're going to be able to get access, or you're going to be able to get benefit from this, even if you're not in the trucking industry. Okay, if you're looking to get a loan or a credit line for your business, a lot of these options are going to work for you regardless of the industry that you're in. But these are specially work well for you if you're in the trucking industry. These are ones that will work for you taking into account the risk of the trucking industry. Some see trucking as high risk. These will work for you even if you are in the trucking industry, and they'll work for you even if you're in a lot of different industries. So if you're looking for a loan or a credit line, this is the place to be. We're going to dive in for the next 20, 30 minutes. Thank you for the loves. Thank you for the likes. I love them rolling in. I appreciate it. It lets other people know that we're live and also lets them know that we're covering some really cool topics today. So today we are we're going to talk about fantastic funding that works for over-the-road truckers. Again, this will work for you regardless of the industry that you're in, but it works really well for those in the trucking industry. And Jansen, welcome to the stream, man. Thanks for tuning in. Jansen Fugate is the man when it comes to business brokerage. So if you are a business broker or want to be, you got the guy right here, right now. So we're going to talk about actual lenders today, too. I'm not going to talk to you in theory about programs. I'm going to give you the actual lenders and the programs they offer that I think will work better, that will work well for, like I said, a lot of industries, but especially for those in the trucking industry. So let's start right here at Kabbage.com. So they offer small business lines of credit for $6,500 or for $500 to $250,000. Okay, now they are going to weigh their FICO score less while qualifying, but they want you to be in business 1 year. They want you to have $50,000 a year in annual revenue. Okay, so this becomes very important. So when it comes to getting financing, we really look at one of three things. I'm going to shut my blinds here so we don't have a reflection. We really look at one of three things. We look at cash flow, we look at credit, or we look at collateral. All these lenders and all types of business financing look at one of these three things. So when we look at Kabbage, for example, what we see is they are actually looking at revenue. They'll get you a credit line up to $250,000 and they weigh their FICO less. It's not as big of a deal, but what they're really looking for is for you to have consistent revenue. Now, nationalfunding.com. Okay, they can get you custom business loans, working capital loans, equipment financing. They're going to work with you too, and they're very lenient with credit scores. A 620 FICO score is all that's needed. $5,000 to $500,000 in financing you can get if you've got 1 year time in business and $100,000 in sales. Now, I had the luxury of talking to National today. They're phenomenal. Not only do they lend their own money, but they also broker with a lot of other sources as well. So even if they can't help you, there's a good chance they have other sources that can still help you get funding. We like National. We send National a lot of files. They help a lot of our clients, especially truckers. So again, if you're coming in and looking for a good source that's based on revenue, National Funding works well. Kabbage works really well as well. Gud Capital. I don't know if I pronounced that right. I'm sorry if I did it. Okay, they offer loans and transport financing, specifically in the transportation industry. They are the guys. Okay, they offer bank and SBA financing up to a lot of money, millions of dollars. Okay, 650 plus FICO is what they're looking for. And they have alternative financing if you're lower than the 650, if you're 500 to 650. So what I like about this source is they are really good with trucking. They really specialize in the transportation industry. So goodcapital.com, you need to make a note of them because they're very good with transportation type financing for anybody in the transportation industry. Fundera.com, equipment financing to 10 years, 650 FICO score or better. Okay, now they're going to be for if you're wanting the short or the better rates. Okay, and they also offer short-term financing, but scores as low as 525. Okay, but your rates aren't going to be as good as if they would be if you had a 650. No tax liens, no repos, bankruptcies in the past, but Fundera is a great source. And again, Fundera offers as well a lot of interesting types of financing. So here's why I talk so much about equipment financing. A lot of sources that offer equipment financing tend to be pretty lenient towards transportation industry. I'm not saying all do, but what I am saying is that if you're in the transportation industry and you look for people that are offering equipment financing or some type of equipment financing, it's a good place to look because a lot of them really cater to those people in the transportation industry, like over-the-road truckers, for example. So anytime I mention equipment financing, like we did here with Fundera, it's somebody you really want to look at because that means that they kind of tend to cater to people that are in that transportation industry. Okay, so again, some good sources. Cabbage, based on revenue. Credit doesn't matter as much. National, lot of options. Fund their own business. Also work with some other kind of sources as well. Good Capital, sorry if I mispronounce it, but they work for the transportation industry especially. That's why I brought them in. Fundera, they go down to 525 FICO, 650, you're going to get better terms, and they'll go as long as 10 years. Here's why this matters. First of all, a lot of places are going to charge you higher rates if you're higher risk. Your time in business, the industry you're in, your credit score, all those things tie into your risk. Okay, I'm okay with that. I like places that go as low as 525 because it means you're going to pay a higher rate, but that's okay. You're higher risk. At least they'll give you financing when you typically can't get financing. So it's a really big deal. Second thing that really matters right here is 10 years in financing. When you look at this, here's why it matters. So many people are concerned about interest rates when you shouldn't be. The majority of what controls your payments, how long the term is. If you try to get a 2 or 3 year loan, your payments are going to be high. If you get an 8 or 10 year term, your payments are going to be much lower. Focus more on term than interest if you want to keep your payments low. And who cares? The interest is tax deductible as well, so it doesn't matter. You're going to write that off. But if you really want to have low payments, it comes down to making sure that you have a longer term. And Jansen says business credit's a huge component of getting equipment financing and leasing, and he's right. Building your business credit really matters when it comes to getting a lot of this kind of financing, especially when it comes to equipment financing. And says, I'm waiting on a call back now. Perfect. Our team is slammed. I just literally finished a webinar that had like over 1,000 people on it, and everybody is calling into our number right now. So if you are trying to get in touch with us and can't, it's okay. Call, leave a voicemail. Our team will get back to you, and they monitor missed calls and call you back as well. It's my fault. I'm the one that just presented to 1,000 people in real time and told them all to call, and now everybody's calling, and our team is like, ah! So just leave a message, and we will call you back. I assure you that we will. So, headwaycapital.com, lines of credit up to 100,000, 12 months, 18 months, 14, 24 months. See what I'm saying? Shorter term means higher payment. You're going to get a longer term here of Fundera, or potentially one that gives you the potential of having your payments a little bit less. 1 year time in business, $50,000 in annual revenue, okay? Now, again, this comes down to being based on cash flow, not being based on credit, so they'll work with you even if you have consumer credit issues. ClarifyCapital.com, term loans, lines of credit, invoice factoring, equipment financing, working capital loans, merchant cash advances up to $750,000. That's a high approval amount. Most places that offer this kind of financing only go as far as $400,000 or $500,000 is as high as they go. They go to $750,000. They have secure and unsecured options, and they have fairly low interest rates too at ClarifyCapital.com. Now, also keep in mind, if we can help you here, we work with all these lenders and more. So feel free to either give us a ring at 877-600-2487 or just visit us online at creditsuite.com or schedule a consult at creditsuite.com/consult. We can help you with any of the financing that I'm showing you today, even though I'm giving you the lending sources. Here's why that matters. I'm giving you a bunch of lending sources today. Will one of them work with you? Or you don't know if you go to one of them, but if you come to us, we work with all of them so we can figure out which ones work best for you and help guide you in the right direction. And it costs you $0 to do that. Our funding team will get on the phone with you at no cost to you whatsoever. We will help you through the funding process. The reason we do that is because, we want to help you, obviously, but the second reason is these lenders will pay us a referral fee when we do that. So we don't charge you any money to help you find the right lending source and develop a plan to help you get even more money as well, okay? And Eddie says, is this staying up? Yes, everything that we do on Facebook stays live on our Facebook page. We even put a lot of it on our YouTube page as well, so hopefully that helps you. And Jansen says, gold. Thanks, good Jansen, again for tuning in. He's the man when it comes to business brokers. So if you are a business broker, you got to get with Jansen. Okay, so the next one, LVRGLLC.com, cash flow financing, working capital, revenue-based, business lines of credit, terms loans, cash advances, up to $5 million in funding. 6 months time in business, $10,000 a month in revenue is all they want to see, okay? They're not going to work with you if you have a startup. They're not going to work with you they're not going to work with your startup, but they will work with you if you have credit issues because they're based on cash flow. They don't care about credit. OnDeck.com, the biggest in the revenue lending merchant cash advance space. They offer term loans up to 36 months that you're able to get with them, up to $100,000 in financing, okay? And they'll also get you credit lines as well. So if you have better credit, I like OnDeck because OnDeck will get you a loan and a credit line. Now, for their credit lines, sometimes they want to see tax returns, and they definitely want to see better credit. But that's the first of any source I've seen that does cash flow-based financing that will give you a line of credit and a loan. Here's why this is important. We work with sources that take second or third positions on some of these loans as well. So you might get one loan from a place like OnDeck, and there are other lenders that specialize in giving you even more money when somebody like OnDeck gives you initial money. So there's a lot of different options here. Some of these ones that I'm talking about work together well. They'll lend you money even if you got money from another source. This is why you really need to make sure that you talk with somebody that has access to all legitimate funding in one place, because in a lot of cases you can get 2 or 3 types of financing, okay, as well. And Jansen said, OnDeck stock, sad face. I'm with you. I've been following that from the beginning, and OnDeck is not doing well in the stock market right now. Okay, and it has nothing to do with the coronavirus. Fundbox.com, guys, this is a secret right here. It's my #1 favorite credit line for 2019. They do 2 kinds of financing. Invoice factoring, if you have invoices, they'll go up to $100,000. Okay, no minimum FICO required. Sometimes they don't even pull your credit. Okay, they'll plug into your accounting software and look at your actual AR, your account receivables, and fund you. They also will do $100,000 based on revenue as well, line of credit. Okay, and all they look at is your bank account, and they don't need bank statements. Fundbox is the future. Let me tell you what I mean. Fundbox specializes in what we call artificial intelligence lending, AI lending. So it used to be that when you need to get a loan, you supplied like a whole stack of documents, right? Well, what Fundbox is doing is using technology to go grab the information they need without needing your documentation. So Fundbox isn't going to ask you for bank statements. What they're going to ask you for is your login credentials. They plug their system right into your bank account. Their computer does their analysis and then renders an approval decision. Here's why this matters. First of all, a lot less income documentation, and that's a big deal. The less income documentation we have to supply, the better. Second, it's super fast approval. We see approvals in 1 to 2 hours and funding next day. That means you can get a line of credit in 24 hours with Fundbox. Here's what you need to know from somebody that has a $100,000 Fundbox credit line. First, we got approved for like $6,000. Then we supplied our tax returns and they gave us $30,000. Then we used our $30,000 and we paid it off and we were responsible. Then we came back to them and we said, we want more. They said, show us your your tax returns. We showed them our newest tax returns. They gave us $100,000. They bumped us from $6,000 to $100,000 in credit line in 6 months. I can't guarantee you the same results. I'm just telling you my own personal experience with Fundbox. We love them. You can get to creditsuite.com/fundbox, FUNDBOX, to try them out. Expect to get a small credit line in the beginning. If you want it to be higher and your tax returns are good, supply your tax returns. Use it responsibly and then solicit them in 3 to 6 months for an increased limit. I can't tell you how many credit lines we do with Fundbox. It's a lot. It's hundreds a year, if not more. So they are a fantastic source. One of the easiest sources that we found to be able to get credit lines. ExpressCapital.com. Working capital loans. Okay, you can get 1 to 12 months of short terms, 5.9% rates. Okay, you can get up to $150,000 in financing with them as well. They also do equipment financing, and they're going to want you to be in business 1 year and have $50,000 a year in revenue. That is how, meaning that they're looking at your cash flow, not your credit. Now, you got to be in the U.S. as you do with all. It really matters a lot, and Keith just put in the actual link to get that credit line from Fundbox as well. We look at anything to do with equipment financing means it's typically pretty safe for trucking to get into. So that's one of the good things about Express Capital. They're looking at cash flow, okay, and based on that, they're able to approve you even when your credit is not good. FastUpfront.com, unsecured business loans. Okay, financing to $250,000. Bad credit is okay. No collateral is okay. Okay, they're going to ask for about 3 to 4 months worth of revenue and merchant account statements. And with a 550 credit score, you can get approved, but no startups, because what they want to see is they want to see cash flow. And there's also TopMarkFunding.com. Now, they do semi-truck financing and leasing. They are specifically for the trucking industry. Okay, and you can get approved with little money down up to $500,000 and get up to 3 years in terms, okay? So again, they really specialize, just like semi-truck financing, Top Mark Funding. They are just like Good Capital here, where they offer financing for the transportation industry as well. So I've given you a lot of options here, but I'm giving you 2 especially for the trucking industry. Now, I do have a third option, and you can get to that by contacting us direct, creditsuite.com/consult, or giving us a ring at 877-600-2487. This is up to $150,000 in working capital credit line that works well for the trucking industry or any industry. You don't need revenue. You can get it as a startup. You can get it as a high-risk industry. You can get it as a nonprofit, okay? And you get 0% financing, okay? 5 to 8 credit lines. We call this our credit line hybrid program. You get 0% rates, benefit of a credit card. You can take cash out, benefit of a credit line. It's the first program that combines both and lets you get 0% cash out financing with up to 8 credit lines that help you build business credit at the same time. It's phenomenal. And what you need to get approved is a 650 or higher FICO score and or a guarantor that has that. So maybe your credit's not 650, but you have mom, dad, brother, sister, family, or a friend, potential investor. They can use their credit to get approved. The credit you get reports to the business credit reporting agencies. So you're using their credit to get approved and building your business credit at the same time. Cash flow doesn't matter, collateral doesn't matter, and startups are welcome. And you can get that at creditsuite.com by getting in touch with us. You can go to creditsuite.com/consult, which Keith put in the actual stream, or you can also give us a ring at 877-600-2487. So, that's a lot. We talked to a lot of options here, from Cabbage to places like Good Capital and places like Top Mark Funding that deal specifically for people in the transportation industry. Many of these other loans and credit lines will work for you no matter what industry you're in, but they're all safe for you if you're in the trucking industry. So this is where to go. And remember, if you don't want to figure out which one to go through, go to creditsuite.com/consult or visit us online at 877-600-2487. I'll even give you one more special link. creditsuite.com/get funding. If you go to creditsuite.com/get funding, you can get approved by just entering your information in there, and our finance officers will get in touch with you to talk to you more about all the credit and financing you're able to get for your business. So I'm going to wrap this up. If you missed any of it, go to our Facebook page. This will live indefinitely as long as Facebook will let it live there, to get more information on how to get money for your transportation industry. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I'll see you next Tuesday at 2 o'clock Eastern here on Facebook. Have a great day.